Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Walking Dead series by The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, Season 1, Episode 5, entitled Become. It's written by Gabriel Llanas and Matthew Negret. They both did Episode 3, titled Bye, and then it was directed by Michael Satrasimus. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Sorry.
Ooh, that sound wrong.
It does sound wrong, even coming out of my mouth. And he's worked on The Walking Dead previously, as well as Fear the Walking Dead, and did an episode of a TV show called Lore. So we've seen his name in the past as well.
All right.
All right, Gary, we've watched the episode. What are your thoughts?
It was a pretty good episode. It gave us something different than we've been getting. Like, we didn't get a CRM this week. Well, we got Jadis, but I'll have a lot to talk about Jadis.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, we got something different, a different group of people that try to betray us real quick. It take no time.
No time whatsoever.
No time at all.
It just make you think, like, not to help anyone. Because even now in real life, they be like, if shit hits the fan, or even just in regular everyday life, let's just right now, you're driving on the road, you see someone waving, hey, they need help. Do not pull over. Like who?
Like a baby?
like a baby? A 5-year-old in diapers? No.
Like a baby on the highway?
I was so mad about that story because if you guys don't know what story we're talking about, we're talking about Carly Russell. I was so mad about that story because literally when I heard about the story, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sending it to friends. I'm sending it to family. Y'all don't stop on the side of the road. It don't matter if you see a baby on the side of the road. Do not stop. Look what just happened to this girl. And then to find out it was all just like, I don't know, a hoax, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
I wonder, can we pull that in The Walking Dead?
Well, they tried.
I wonder will Rick and Michonne stop for a baby?
Of course they would stop for a baby. But if I saw a baby in The Walking Dead by itself, or if Rick and Michonne saw a baby, I think they would stop. But at the same time, they'd be curious, like, how did a baby get here in the world of The Walking Dead by itself and survive and not get attacked yet? So I think if they saw a baby, they wouldn't just keep driving, but they would be on alert, like, hey, this is a trap.
This is a trap. And where they get those Pampers?
Right. Where'd you get Pampers? It better not have Pampers on. It better have like a cloth diaper on or something. But I thought the episode was good. I'm very happy that Jadis was killed because I was just tired of her. Like, her talking her shit, her saying, when she had the nerves to stand up with her hands open and like, if I die, doesn't matter if I get bit by walkers, blah, blah, then you and your family, like, F you, die. I don't care. I was so mad when Michonne saved her in that moment. But, you know, what happened.
I was mad when they chased her in the first place. Like, if she's trying to get away, let her go.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
Oh, yeah. And then Pastor Gabriel, great to see, but I was getting mad at the whole time. Like, I know they didn't bring Pastor Gabriel on this episode just to kill him. But, you know, but then you're like, no, because Jadis is being very heavy-handed. Like, every time it kept going back to her, and she said something like, I had to put somebody, a confidant out of their misery or whatever.
Yeah, it was too heavy-handed.
Yeah, very heavy-handed. So once you were like, nah, it's too heavy-handed, I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. But he's not dead. But let's start off with Pastor Gabriel. We see Pastor Gabriel. He's about to kill a walker, and a helicopter is over. He hears a helicopter overhead. What are your thoughts initially when you see him?
I was happy to see him. You know how I feel about Pastor Gabriel.
Yeah.
Badass. Now he's badass.
Right.
Well, the new Pastor Gabriel is badass. And you know, that's my favorite Halloween costume.
Yeah. I think Gary did dress like Pastor Gabriel.
I'm going to be Pastor Gabriel again this year.
I dressed like Michonne and no one knew who I was. I'm like, that's the stick? That's my stick right there. Yeah, it was great to see him. And we immediately go to Michonne and Rick, and it's so cute. They're like on a romantic road trip, and they're having dinner over a campfire. And luckily they're trying to get something like undone. And then right at that moment, they see a walker with like an axe in him.
Yeah, they was trying to get something out of the soda machine, but it was covered with like thorns and branches and sticks.
Right.
And look at God.
Yep.
Brought
there
a
goes
zombie
the
with
walker.
But I mean, look at God also, because whoever put that knife in a zombie didn't make it.
Exactly.
In a walker.
Yeah. Zombie. We can only call them walkers or delts, okay, at this point. And we only can use the names that they've used in the walking stalker or walking dead territory.
Nah, they call them zombies in Atlanta now.
Well, they're in the car and they pass Three Pines Trail. So what are your thoughts? Because you did notice Rick, we like rewinded a few times. We're like, why did Rick stare at that sign so hard? Is it just because he's like, oh, that's somewhere we can stop because it was only a mile away?
I think he stared at it because it was a painted sign. It doesn't look like a everyday sign you would see,
an official
or
sign.
Official government sign. Mm-hmm. It looked like somebody wrote 3 Mile Trail on like a long board.
Three Pines Trail, yeah.
3 Pines Trail, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I watched and I was like, oh, nothing. I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay. But they go inside. They're inside like the little department store, just like a little convenience store, that's at the Three Pines Trail. And they notice that there's no Michonne nameplates, which is unfortunate. And with my name being as basic as it is, there's always a Nicole nameplate, no matter where we go.
Yeah, mine is hit and miss.
Yeah.
Hit or miss. Sometimes you will see Gary, and other times you will see Gary with 2 R's.
Right. I don't get the Gary with the 2 R's.
I don't either.
Now, Rick picks up a Junior plate, and Michonne was like, no one has ever once called him Junior. And then she's like, you know what? You coming back, you don't need to bring any toys, any gifts. Like, you coming back is in itself is the gift.
Why's he ruin his dreams like that? Right. What if he would have called his son Junior?
Yeah, I mean, he could start calling him Junior, but then that's kind of weird because, like, Carl was never Junior. But I know Carl was not named after him.
Yeah, Carl wasn't a junior, though.
Yeah, but don't you just say Junior like, hey, Junior, come on, sport? I don't know.
No.
Does it have to be a Junior for it to be called Junior?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was kind of just like a playful nickname to Oswell.
I mean, if they're not your junior, like, just picture if I just call somebody a junior. I might hurt their feelings. Like, what are you trying to say?
I call our daughter Mini-Me. She doesn't have my same name.
But that's different. You call her a Mini-Me, but a junior is specific to your namesake.
Okay, I get it. And I like that Rick, he found, like, I think the Michelle nameplate, and he breaks it right then and there and just keeps the M, and he keeps it away, like, tucks it in for later. And he also finds the toothpaste, which was a really good callback to that first time him and Michonne kissed. And remember, they both had a day. And then he was like, yeah, that I remember the episode because he was like, the truck is in the water or whatever. And she's like, oh, you had a day. Like, and then somehow they like started holding hands and then they kissed on the couch. Oh, sweet. Like back to simpler times back then. Because I think that day was when he met Jesus for the first time. Because that's how the truck ended up in the water. And then Jesus comes and wakes them up after their first night together.
Yeah, miss Jesus.
R.I.P. Jesus.
R.I.P.
So they find out there's a Three Pines cabin. They're not straying away from this name change here. And one of them says, like, Lux holding up. And I usually say, do not say Lux holding up in The Walking Dead. Like, you don't know what can go wrong.
But it was. Like, everything was perfect.
Yeah.
But it was so perfect they got too comfortable.
They did. Because next thing you know, actually, before we even skip to that, Michonne mentions Thorne. And I guess you kind of said it last week or the week before. You're like, hey, she don't really fuck with Thorne like that. And here she brings her up and goes like, Thorne was so uptight. And Rick says like, well, she lost the love of her life. And I think he was bringing that up, like letting her know there was a love, not me.
Right.
And she lost him and Thorne took her in. I mean, not Thorne. Okafor took her in and now she's for the cause.
I was proud of Rick. De-escalating that quick.
Yeah.
Making Michelle know there's nothing to worry about.
There's nothing to worry about. She had a love. And he says, I denied it. I might have pushed you away, but I never let go. And while they're walking to the cabin, they see a sign and it says, protect the park from the people from the park, and the people from the people.
What do you think that means?
I don't know, because it bothered Michonne later. I definitely get protect the park from the people. Like, it's always like, leave no trace. I even say it here at home, like, leave no trace. Like, clean up after yourself. It shouldn't, if you go camping somewhere, if you have a picnic somewhere, you shouldn't be leaving a trace of where everyone sees what you ate for lunch. Like, clean up after yourself. So that's what I took it as, like, protect the park. Let it be something that other people can use and enjoy.
Yeah, I get that part. But protect the people from people.
Well, okay, so then second, before the people from people, protect the people from the park. I took that as, hey, there's animals. There's, when you go camping or whatever it is, there are wildlife here. So also be on the lookout and make sure, you don't get hurt by an animal. I mean, if it's a deer, you're not worried about that. But if it's something bigger, just being protect the people from the park.
Yeah, I could get that part also.
And then protect the people from the people. I don't know. People are crazy even before the apocalypse happened.
And that's what I was about to say, that this was before the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like this. Now, this was a government sign.
Yes. Yeah. I'm thinking protect the people from the people. Maybe not necessarily like gun violence, but if someone starts a fire, protect the people. Now someone started a fire or they didn't follow fire safety. So be careful because you never know if someone didn't put out the fire correctly or whatever the case may be.
Or maybe violence also.
And it could also just mean pure violence. Like, hey, you're off the grid. People might snatch you up. People might do anything because they feel like they're like, I don't know. People get when people go camping or they're just off the grid somewhere, they just get that.
Yeah, they are brand new.
Yeah, that real brand new. So at that moment, after reading the sign, they heard someone yelling. We hear a walker. They come across a few walkers, and I don't know. The walkers are like overgrown. It looked like mushrooms or something, but
no, they said what it was. I didn't write it down.
I wrote down. He says seam vents. I don't even know what that is. And he's like, there's wet ones, there's this ones. Like one of the guys start describing it because it reminded me. It was so gross. It looked like mushrooms or something. But Rick mentioned it's hard as steel.
Yeah, it was like pavement or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I said I forgot to write it down.
I wrote down seam vents.
But they were saying that it was something that when it gets wet or when it gets cold, it forms a hard shell or something.
And I loved this whole scene. Even though it took a turn so quickly, I still loved it. Because Michonne and Rick, they're just like in love and they're happy and they like offer the people food. But as soon as they offer the food, they're like, hey, y'all, here's some food. We'll be on our way. Like, bye. And then the guys pull out their guns. I'm like, wait, if y'all had guns, I guess they couldn't fight the walkers because clearly the guns, Michonne and them had to kind of double team them. Yeah. Michonne and Rick and break it. But they pull out the guns. The lady is trying to stop it.
Yeah.
And I hate when they say this. It's nothing personal.
Oh, yeah. It was personal.
You have a gun at my face. How is this not personal? You know what I mean? You either could have chose to not do it or especially after I just gave you food.
After you said thank you.
Yes, and thank you.
Hey, thank you. Give me the rest of that.
And they give him a chance. Or yo, you don't even want this. Like you don't want this fight. When someone tells you you don't want these problems, just believe them. Like, I don't know. Just believe them. If there's like, you know how they say if someone's calm and everyone else is yelling and you see that calm person and they're just calm and quiet, you should be scared. That person ain't calm for nothing. They're trying to regulate themselves so they don't go off. And they give him a chance, but they take him down quickly. And and I don't know why. They're like, the people surrender and they're like, once they're down and Rick and Michonne's like, we don't know if you're going to do this to anyone else and blah, blah, and like promises you won't do this to anyone else.
And the crazy part is they did it again to them.
Yeah, right. To them. Yeah, it always comes back. Remember Rick said back when, I think not Pastor Gabriel, it was,
Terminus times, right?
After Terminus, who came back? Morgan. When Morgan came back, remember Morgan came back, and Rick told him, like, hey, you can come in, but he's like, I don't take chances anymore. When he was at Alexandria. It's like, yo, like, I know you, I know I've met you, but it's been years. And I feel like Rick needs to go back to, like, do not take chances. Not saying you just got to kill people willy-nilly, but nah. Like, after this, they showed you who they were. Yeah.
But they took them ramen noodles back.
Yeah, Michonne was like, I'm taking these snacks back. And Rick was like, really? And she said, yes. And they're like, promises you won't do this again, assholes. And you'll keep your promise. And they're like, we promise.
This was a good scene. The only thing I didn't like about it was why throw the gun in one direction and throw the bullets in another direction where they could get to it. And you see they got to it easily.
Yeah, they obviously, because I was like, oh, it's going to be a hard time for them to find those bullets. And I think she was not trying to leave them empty-handed. I think she was just making sure they had enough time to get away. Although they were already on the Pines cabin, like Pines Resort. So to me, even if it took them 10, 20 minutes, it even took an hour to look for it, y'all are still sleeping nearby. So
if you don't trust them enough to have the gun,
then why leave it? Yeah. I think they just were like, hey, at least we empty it. We'll be on our way. But the fact that they knew they were staying there overnight. You weren't really going far.
One of them asked the question, like, are you sure we should have left the gun?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Rick or Michonne said it. Yeah.
It was only those two.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It was either Rick or it was Michonne. One of them said it. One of them questioned it, okay? Well, we see Rick set up a trap. And Michonne, she mentions that sign again. She's like, the sign stuck in her head. Protect the people from the people. And Rick says, like, it felt good to save those people right there. Like, it feels good that I'm actually saving people again. And he was like, I'm surprised you took the noodles back. She's like, nah, son. They don't get noodles after that.
Right. Yeah, those noodles hold value.
Yeah.
I wonder how much you could sell noodles for in a zombie apocalypse.
Man, probably at least $1.
That's it?
Oh, well, no, there's no money. I don't know.
You only think the value is $1?
I don't really know. No, there's no dollar anymore. I would think it's a value of, here's noodles. I want 6 hours of like free babysitting, or like, I don't know. It has to be the lifespan of a noodle. So you eat the pack of noodles. You're full for maybe 2 to 3 hours.
Well, it has to be at the span of a day, because I mean, some people only eat one meal a day.
One a day, yeah. So then I don't know. That would at least be 6 hours of babysitting. Or fix something for me, or
hold on, you trust somebody to babysit your kid in a zombie apocalypse?
I'm talking about if it was like in the community and you're passing it around to someone in the community. Like if like here's Pastor Gabriel, here watch my baby for 6 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do that to somebody in my community. Hit them upside the head, but outside the community, yeah, give me your car for these noodles,
right? Or gas, give me some gas or whatever. I don't know.
Give me a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's high. Man, that's too high.
I give them 2 packs.
Nah, I wouldn't trade a motorcycle for eating pack of noodles.
Yeah, that's 2 days you could eat.
A motorcycle, that's a lifeline to escape.
You can run out of gas in 1 day.
True. Well, they have toothpaste and booze, and Michonne's like, what's up with you, Grimes? What you doing? And he gives her the necklace, and it has the M, and they make love. Oh, and before that, he did set up a trap. We see him set up a trap outside. Yeah. And just then when that scene ends, we see someone cutting the trap from outside, cutting that.
Yeah. But he hit her with a triple G.
What was that?
Give, and get. Give her a gift.
You made that up.
No, it's a triple G. Give her a gift, give her booze. No, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. That don't sound right, so I'm going to take that back.
I was just about to add to it. I'm like, what the heck was I saying? I was like, yeah, get her a little tipsy. Like, what the heck?
Gift, booze, and get some.
Yeah.
Triple G.
They were having a good time, and everything was consensual.
Yeah, everything's consensual, and don't do that.
Yes.
I mean, you can give it a gift, and if she decides to give you some. But don't count on the booze.
Now, before we get to the next scene, when it shows the person outside, like that's cutting the trap, did you think it was Pastor Gabriel, or who did you think it was?
That's exactly who I thought it was.
That's who I thought it was too. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's no worries, it's Pastor Gabriel. Like he doesn't know it's them, but I was like, some reason I just didn't know where the scenes were where Pastor Gabriel was. Or actually at this point we only seen one scene with him here in the helicopter at this point. So I just was like, oh, maybe Pastor Gabriel went off on his own. So we jump to, and it says 3 years ago, and Pastor Gabriel, he's just like out and about, and Jadis comes, and she's alone. And I did write down, where's Rosita's baby? Because technically, Pastor Gabriel and Rosita were raising that baby together. Because remember, Sadiq, or Sahid? Sadiq.
No, I think it was Sahid.
I think Sahid is from Lost.
So it could be
Sadiq. So Sadiq. I want to say Sadiq. Chantel will correct us. Yeah. But Sadiq, whoever.
Creepy guy.
No, I was just about to say known as like fine doctor. That's what we used to always call him.
He started off as creepy guy. He started off having a kid's voice when he's trying to get Carl's attention. That's creepy.
He was scared when he saw Carl. Remember?
Can somebody help me? Help me. Yo, that's creepy.
Okay.
I never trusted him since then.
Man, I've always trusted him. But he says, is it okay even if you are, she says, is it okay even if you are alone? Or one of them said, I don't know. And he hugs her and he's like, is this coming back? And she says, no, she just wanted to see him, but he can't tell anyone he saw her. And he tells her, like, I tried finding you with Eugene's radio. And I love that they're, like, kind of bringing up other characters that we love.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, you left because no one trusted you. And she's like, well, I was up to something. And it was a mistake to trust me. And, like, she says that. And then it's like Pastor Gabe is not listening because he just keeps talking about everything.
I think he appreciated the honesty. And plus, he knew. He knew she was up to something. And she could be trusted.
Okay.
He's a pastor. I don't think he's supposed to say, you damn liar.
yeah. I always knew.
Get out of here, you heathen.
Well, he said, Rick called you one of us. He died trying to bring people together. And that's when she's like, he died? And then he tells her about the bridge. And Gabriel asks for forgiveness. And they pray and make amends. He's like, let's just pray, make amends, and let's just talk.
That's why I don't trust people. Because there's always two truths and a lie.
What are the two truths and a lie here?
When she said she was up to something and you couldn't trust her. Mm-hmm. And the lie was when she said, is he dead?
Yeah.
Did he die?
Yeah, you're right.
Can't trust nobody.
I know. That is he died? Like, she was trying to get information out of him. Like, what? She was there. You know, you were there. You know
right.
He ain't dead.
Did you see anything?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Did you see anything? And it's suspicious. But he tells her, you can talk to me. So we go to present day, and it's actually Jadis that pops up. And she goes, morning, lovebirds. And it's like the Jesus scene all over again. The first night Michonne and Rick were together, but it's bad news.
When I saw this scene, well, all the scenes that I've seen with Jadis in it, I was like, who the hell is she? Who is this lady? Because she's just going off in it.
Going here, going there.
Going there. She's going back and forth. Like, she don't want Rick to go back. Or she had a problem with Michonne being there. But you telling me that every year you going to visit Gabriel?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like, who the hell is this lady that she just get to go back and forth as she please?
Every day on the exact same day at that.
Just in general.
Right.
Like when she went to go look for Rick and Michonne, she was solo.
Yeah.
Like, are they just giving her keys to the helicopter and say go?
Which makes me wonder if Rick gets the echelon briefing, will he have that availability to just go back and find his people, go back? And then it seems like with all the technology they have, don't they know where Jadis be going? Like, can't they see, like, do they have GPS on those systems to see that this is where she keeps going every year?
Right.
You know?
But they do explain what Jadis is. Like, she's some kind of warrant officer.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure she's the person now that goes out to get people and bring them back.
Yeah, that might be the case.
I think that's what a warrant officer is. I'm not sure.
They be making up titles, so who knows?
Yeah. And then they just gave her this title. The warrant officer?
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago, she was already a warrant officer?
It sounds like, no, because it sounds like now she just got this promotion. The way she presented the promotion, it sounded like it just happened.
Oh, okay. So she was just off everywhere before that.
Yeah, doing her own thing.
I don't know.
Well, Michonne's talking out loud. She don't care what Jay's cares. She's like, I bet nobody knows she's here. And
that part was hilarious.
Yeah, when they were talking with her, she alone and stuff. And that's when Jadis explains how she noticed they were gone. She's like, you guys left some breadcrumbs. I noticed the yellow truck was gone. The ramen wrappers down the highway. And I'm like, okay, was the highway clean already to where only the ramen wrappers were on the ground?
But let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
First, Jadis told him that's disrespectful because she's standing right here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm right here, and you talking back and forth, talking about, yeah, she's alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she told anybody.
And then she also mentions, like, okay, down the highway, down Highway 90, which is a direct route to Virginia. So I was like, damn, they went the direct route? I'm like, Rick and them, y'all know better than this? Y'all didn't take a secret route or go a back way?
That's what you thought about?
I did think that.
I was thinking, damn, how many Roman noodles they had? If they left a trail down the highway.
And then dead delts, walkers. And then once again, I'm like, that still doesn't prove anything. The yellow truck to me was the biggest part because it was so bright. And she's like, when we went and so it sounded like Jadis was on the plane, on the helicopter that, got rid of the one that they were on. So I get the yellow truck, but everything else was just like a little too small of a detail. And I'm like, ramen wrappers, the road hasn't been cleared for years. There has to be more than just ramen wrappers on the floor. And then dead delts, okay, there's dead walkers everywhere. So I just, I didn't buy that, but
I didn't buy any of it. But I knew they needed a reason to bring her back to kill her.
Yeah.
Which we haven't got to that part. But
yeah. Well, Michonne says you should just killed us in our sleep. And that's when she was really heavy-handed. She's like, I've been thinking about someone else I killed. You think I'm still her? I'm not her. I'm like, wait. Before we get to this, I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean, like, you're not her? Because Rick was calling her Anne, and she's like, I'm not Anne. Yeah, but when we met you, you were Jadis. I don't bother, and you're still using the name Jadis. So, but you're not that Jadis either. You know what I mean? Anne was her new reintroduction when she started staying with the community. Jadis was the garbage person. So when she's like, I'm not her, you're not Anne, but you'd rather be Jadis?
I think she wanted to go out poetic. And do this to get rid of her. So they said, let's just put a whole bunch of words together that don't make any sense. People think it's poetic.
Yeah. Well, Rick is like, you stole our family, Anne. Because later on he mentioned, he's like, I don't think she likes me calling her Anne. So he just kept saying it. And she's like, but by dying here today, Alexandria will remain safe. And she shoots at him, but they're able to like get shelter and get the upper hand. And Michonne does get a really big hit off her at that moment, you know?
And this is the reason why I said earlier that I'm mad they chased her. They already know that she's not trying to go back to Alexandria. She don't want a team to go and see it. She's trying to protect it.
Yeah.
So when she ran away, y'all should have made a clean shot straight to Alexandria. She's not bringing anybody there.
Right.
And she told you guys by saying that she don't want anything leading back there. That's like telling me that, all right, you don't want anybody to go back there either. We're safe.
Yeah, which is why I don't get why she's so obsessed with them leaving. But I guess because at the end, Michonne does tell her, like, yo, I am going to take the CRM down. We are going to go back and everything. Like, so I guess she's just never believed if they go back, like they were on their way to, that they would stay there.
Yeah, Michonne couldn't just let her die in peace.
I'm glad. Well, we get a 2 years ago flashback. And Jadis and Gabriel are hanging out again. And Jadis asks Gabriel how Rick's wife is doing. And I don't know why Gabriel is like, well, why did you call her his wife? They're not official. And I'm like, it's semantics. Like, at this point, it's The Walking Dead. Like, why do you care? Like, I don't know.
No, not to a pastor.
At this point, I mean, really, who married Glenn and old girl, Lauren? Or Maggie, who married them? Like, they just said their vows to each other, and I think just said we're married now.
I think her father did, right?
Was her father alive during that time? It's possible, maybe.
Yeah,
Damn, I forgot about him. Damn. Yeah. Now you make me want to go watch the old seasons again, man.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah. Well, she says she looks forward to talking to him yearly, and she's happy to be part of something bigger than just herself. And this is about the survival of others. And I don't know, something is icky when people talk like this. Like, in order to get the new, we're going to have to first kill a lot of people. But once those people are killed, then we can, like, cleanse and start anew. And we're, like, killing people for the survival of other people.
Yeah.
Which
it sounds wrong. But this is a sci-fi TV show.
Yeah. I mean, it's so sick. I in some sick way get it.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? But it doesn't make it sounds like an oxymoron at the same time. Like, I got to kill people in order for people to survive.
But you know what? I don't get it yet. I mean, they're going to have to give me the briefing also.
I'm going to have to hear this briefing. Yeah. Like, what is so big about the briefing? Thorne, she got the briefing and still was not even telling Rick what it was. Like, come on, you got the briefing. Tell me what it is. And now Jadis obviously has the briefing. And still hasn't told Rick, like, why don't you just say what it is?
Yo, they're still following command.
They better come hard with this echelon briefing. I know that much.
They better come super hard.
Yeah, it better make sense where I'm like, oh, okay, now I see.
It better not be no bull crap.
Crap.
Yeah, where they saying like, yeah, sometimes we got to kill people to start anew.
yeah, it better not be no bullshit like that. Well, Gabriel asked her if her people can help since they have kids that are hungry. And I did think that, like, okay, Jadis, you came back. You didn't bring just a little bit of food. You could have snuck off with just a couple days of food.
That was sad to me.
Yeah, to hear kids are hungry.
Yeah, it's sad to know that our people are going through that.
Yeah.
That now they're hungry. And we already said before that it wasn't Alexandria. It was Hilltop, which they're no longer there. They could no longer grow on their land or whatever. The ground wasn't fertile anymore. Well, it was only a matter of time for that to happen to Alexandria. And
but what about Commonwealth? I mean, Commonwealth, they were having ice cream. So why is there no food?
I don't think everyone was at the Commonwealth.
Well, if the kids are starving, you need to go on to the Commonwealth. If you're starving in Alexandria, you're starving at, well, I don't know, Maggie's Hilltop or whatever.
No, there's no more Hilltop.
Well, remember Maggie's new Hilltop, remember? In Dead City, they have a new Hilltop.
Oh, yeah. She said it's a new land.
Yeah.
You can't call it Hilltop.
Well, it's Hilltop 2.0.
But yeah, I mean, they should send the kids to Commonwealth.
Yeah, don't let the kid be hungry.
Unless he's talking about Commonwealth.
Well, then go to Oceanside. The ocean will not run out of fish. Go fishing. There should be nobody that's starving.
You're right. Yeah, we have too many resources.
Yeah, there's too many natural resources for this to be happening this far into the apocalypse at this point. Well, he gives her the ring that he kept for Rick. He says it's a symbol of faith and love. And he said next year, same day, same place. And Gabriel's like, hey, if I'm alive.
Oh, I love the guilt trip. I love that. Like, hey, yeah, since you
if I don't go hungry.
If you don't bring no food this time, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. If I'm not hungry and I can walk over here, sure. So we see them. They're pursuing Jadis. Then Jadis is pursuing them. They're all in the cars. And then they finally get the upper hand and they push her over the edge. And I just hate this when they do this in movies and TV shows because they sure enough, get to the car 5 seconds later. Jadis is already fucked up. She's already, she already got stabbed. Yeah. And now she got in a car accident. And they get there and she's already gone.
She's gone already.
And then not even gone and oh, we see her right up ahead. She's gone.
Just vanished.
You know what I mean? And Jada comes and she finds the 3 people that Rick Michonne had helped. And she offers them safety if they help her. And then she mentions to the lady, hey, you're tall. And you kind of immediately knew it was going to be a little switcheroo there. Rick says maybe they can talk some sense into Jadis. And they end up having, there's a trap. And there's 4 on 2. At least that's what Jada says. She's like, hey, now there's 4 on 2. And Rick was like, yo, there's still time to roll this back. But next thing you know, they're fighting, they're shooting. The lady gets bit by the walkers. They're trying to help her. And then I think they end up dying by the walkers.
I hate the mysterious walkers that just pop up out of nowhere.
Just whenever they feel like it.
We were in this building for so long, walked around it. And you telling me that the walker just snuck up on everybody?
Yep. Michonne and them went walking station to station. I keep saying Michonne and them. Michonne and Rick went walking station to station. And it did look like people used to live there because they all had the sheets for some sort of privacy from each little room.
When I saw that, I thought it was going to be more people.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, they went to another community. It's about to be trouble.
Right.
Trouble.
The walkers are probably the old community people that used to live there.
Yeah, but where were they at?
Yeah, it still doesn't make sense that they were to pop up. And I'm tired of silent walkers. A walker's not sneaking up on me.
Especially those walkers.
Those big ass walkers with all that clunk on them.
Looked heavy.
Yeah, and they're breathing. You can hear all that. But we now get a flashback again. It's 1 year ago. We get Gabriel and Jadis. And they're like, every year I come back here. She said, every year I come back here, I've done worse things. But she understands their plan. And Gabriel's like, well, can you tell me? And she's like, and you can confide in me. And I was like, oh, shit, she is about to tell. I thought we were about to get somewhere. And I thought maybe she would tell him and then kill him or something. But she tells him no. He's like, he looks forward to meeting her, to have him to herself. And they kiss. And he asks her to come back. And she says she can't. He only knows that they hoard supplies. She's like, well, I only know. And she's like, I can't. Oops, sorry. She's like, I can't. I have to be with my people or whatever. And he's like, well, only thing I know about your people is that you guys hoard supplies.
He was big bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell he was hungry at that moment.
Yeah, he was hungry. Y'all hoard supplies while others suffer. And I'm like, they do that in the real world. That's everyday life. There's people starving now.
You should be used to that.
Yes. And she's like, she's sorry. And she's sorry for coming and for turning him into a loose end. And that's when she pushes him down and points the gun at him. And we cut to. So did you think he was probably going to get killed in that moment?
No.
Because she was so heavy-handed earlier.
She was so heavy-handed earlier.
Yeah.
And they would have showed it right then and there.
Yeah. I agree. I was going to be mad because I'm like, why bring Gabriel back just to kill him? Y'all don't need to hurt us like this. We've lost too many people. And I just kept wondering, where's Rosita's baby? Because, who's watching him? Watching her? Is her Coco? Is that her name? Yeah, Coco, right? Yeah. I know that baby is going to be just beautiful. Beautiful parents.
I'm just laughing at them changing the baby.
What do you mean?
Because remember, the last time we see the baby was black.
I do remember black baby.
They really want us to think that's Pastor Gabriel's baby.
Yeah, they tried to rewrite history.
They tried to rewrite history.
I mean, that baby definitely would have some color in it, but it wouldn't be a black baby.
Not to be a black baby.
Yeah,
though.
You're right.
Named Coco.
Well, Coco, Coco is like a, I think like
a Nicole.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicole and Nikki. They call her Coco.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because I was thinking Pastor Ice-T's wife. Her name is Coco. And then I thought of like
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's her real name, but then like the movie Coco, and they were like Spanish, so maybe I don't know. That baby's gonna be beautiful.
I mean, it's a nickname for usually Nicole's.
So maybe the baby's Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can play the baby. They'd be like 40 years later, and I'm the grown-up baby.
You could. Cause they changed out the baby.
Yeah. And they're like, wait, how are you the baby? I'm the baby grown up 40 years later, okay?
Like they really wanted to push the idea that was Pastor Gabriel's baby.
Yeah, it was a unique change, I'll say that. Well, we get present day Jadis asking Rick to talk, and she says she lives for the cause and will die for the cause. She's not a traitor like he is. I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? He's never been a traitor. He's never wanted to be there. He's never acted like he wanted to be there until he realized there was no way out. And she says, if I die, your kids are dead. And that's when she stands up a bit and like she puts her, in like ready to get bit or whatever. And that's when Michonne saves her. I was so pissed off. I was like, F her. I don't like people talking shit, especially telling me that my kids are going to die.
I was pissed off because after Michonne saved her, she tried to kill Michonne.
Yeah, she tried to kill Michonne, and then the bullet like kind of ricocheted off of Rick. Remember, Rick had like a bullet in his head the rest of the episode. Remember, he's like, I'm okay, I'm okay.
He was grazed.
He was grazed, which is very dangerous. Like, we don't see it enough in this show, like people dying from cuts and bruises and wounds and stuff like that. But like, honestly, they don't have antibiotics and stuff like that. Like, I'm surprised we haven't seen more people die from a simple cut,
Yeah, well, we have seen antibiotics, but we've seen it like far and few in between, you know.
Well, Jadis, that's when she tells Rick, hey, Bill was going to give you the echelon briefing when you return. You could have helped Alexandria. Michonne should have left. And then she's like, who's going to die today? The two of you or me and everyone back at home. And Michonne says she knows this can't end with them going home. And I knew as soon as, on the flashback scene, or we saw this in the trailer for last week. And when Michonne was like, now we can't go home now. At the time, last week, I was like, no, what happens that she's thinking that? But you now see it in context. I was like, oh, I knew she was playing. Like, I knew she didn't just change her mind all of a sudden, And Jadis was stupid to believe it as well.
But she wasn't playing.
She was playing.
I mean, she was playing Jadis in that moment, but they did go back.
Well, they are going back. They are going back, yes. And, well, yeah, but when Michonne was, like, acting like she just gave up, like, man, she's right, we can't go home, da-da-da-da.
You know what? I thought she was playing also, but after that, Rick said, hey, I looked at your eyes and you were kind of serious.
Okay. Well, you got to believe it. You got to believe the lie. And that's when Rick says, I'll go back with you. Michonne will go away. Is that a deal? And that's when Michonne steps out, throws her weapon down, and kind of just walks away. And I'm like, Onesie and Jadis, you thought Michonne just left Rick like that after all this? And then Rick comes out and does the same. And then Jadis says, she was a fool to think she could take them down together. But then that's when she tries to pull out the red gun. They showed that red gun throughout the episode. And then flashes back to her having the gun on Gabriel. So it was like a whole big thing, this scene right here.
But you know what? She was a fool for waking him up. And trying to give them her villain
little
tale.
Speech, yeah.
Like, why give your villain tale?
Yes.
Tell them what you're going to do, what you saw.
Yeah.
You should have just
it's
killed
the
him
villain
right
monologue that they always talk about. It's
exactly.
Rookie mistake. Never do your monologue. It doesn't matter if you think you have the upper hand or not. Just get it done.
You know I didn't kill you in your sleep?
Yeah.
Because I wanted you to be awake to hear this.
Right.
Like, why?
You stupid heifer. You deserve to die. So stupid. And Rick is like, go ahead, shoot me. I hate when people do that. Like, shoot me. And then that's when Michonne comes back with her weapon on Jadis. and she's taken down by walkers. They bite her neck because at the time it does look like Rick and them try to save her because they hurry up and try to get the walkers off her. They see it's in her neck. There's nothing they can do. And once again, it flashes to Jadis's past, and she says she couldn't lose another community, and she doesn't shoot Gabriel, and he tells her, like, I'll see you next year. And that's when it goes present day again, and she tells him, hey, the dossier is in my room at Cascadia Base. And
Gabriel is bold. After she pushed him down and pointed a gun at his face,
yeah,
he's going to tell her,
like, just do it.
He said, just do it. But when she helped him up, he said, I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I would have respected it more if he was like, I see you next year, and just wanted to keep it calm and keep things cool. But the fact that it showed him at the end waiting for her, like, dude, you didn't just say that just to get away in that moment. I would have never came back. This bitch is unhinged. I don't know what she gonna do. She didn't do it this time. What she decides to do it next time?
You know, they say men like toxic women, even pastors.
He want to save her. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. No, but Michonne tells her they will stop. You know, she's sitting there dying. She's like, yo, we gonna stop the CRM. And she tells her whole plan too. And once again, I'm like, y'all, stop wasting time telling each other plans. Like, just get it over with.
Yeah, it's like Michonne want to give her villain tale.
Yeah. And she goes, Rick will go back, get the echelon briefing and the dossier, and then stop them. And she says she wished she died an artist. And that's when we kind of get like the flashback of all the different Jadises that we got. Jadis/Anne and her doing art. And it shows Carl. They're being so heavy-handed with this Carl. I would not be surprised if he like pops up. Like if they have him there and then Rick is like, that looks like Carl, but it's not Carl. It'll be a different person.
I would be surprised if he popped up. Like I said before, he didn't leave on good terms.
He didn't. I mean, but money talks, okay? Yeah. Money talks. And I don't know if he's working right now. So if they're like, yo, come back for a little episode. We're going to make you a different person, blah, blah. I can't see him saying no.
Yeah, he went out mad.
Yeah.
Him and his daddy.
Yeah, they were very vocal on Twitter. Very, very vocal. And that's when she gives him the ring that Gabriel gave her and says, you know, like he gave this because, you know, he said you wanted to marry Michonne. So if you serious about it, go ahead and do it. And I'm like, I don't know. For some reason, I'm like, they talking like marriage is, I mean, not to dismiss marriage at all, but like they're talking about it. I don't know. To me, it doesn't hold the same weight in the zombie apocalypse. Like, we can marry someone and they might be dead in 6 months. Like, I don't know. They were making it sound like are you ready to make this commitment, Rick? Like, yeah. Okay, yeah.
To death do us part.
Yeah, but it's like, are you ready to make this commitment, Rick? Like, they were making it sound like it was such a big deal. Like, me, all the shit I've been through, and yeah, I'm too scared to get married in the zombie apocalypse. I don't know. I just felt like,
you'll be surprised.
To me, it seems like everyone would be getting married. Like, you get married after a month. Like, oh my gosh, I found you and I love you. I'm holding on to you. I'm getting married to you.
Yeah, men still won't be trying to get married.
Yeah. I'm like, man, they acting like he's scared to get married. Like, this is going to be his last chance at a free man.
Yeah, for real. The man be like, man, I might die soon. Well, I'm going to tie the knot.
It was crazy. And that's when Rick puts her down. I just did not like that Rick looked all sad and shit. I'm like, why? Jadis, like, you already told her she stole your future. You know, she might have been better off. He might have been better off if she left him there at the bridge because they would have found him and they probably would have been able to nurse. I know I've said the opposite before, but I think now if they found him at the bridge, they probably could have been able to nurse him back to health.
My issue with all of this now, seeing that they picked him up from the bridge right by the community, is if they were going to kill them, why didn't they kill them then?
Yeah.
Why didn't they drop bombs when they were over there by the bridge? They saw there were people there.
Yeah, they had to see from up ahead. Yeah.
So it's almost like they changed who the CRM is.
Yeah, you're right.
Or maybe things changed over the years. Maybe after a while they said, you know what? We just got to start killing people. We bring people in and they're, you know. Well, you can't say that either because they said Rick is the first that tried to get away.
Right. But the CRM has killed. Because even in one of Jadis' flashbacks, the lady that we see get killed, that she like stabs a lady. I'm like, wait, I know that lady. And I'm like trying to pinpoint where I know her from. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, she was on The World Beyond. I'm like, you know, and Jadis was on that show too. I didn't finish watching, so I didn't know that lady had died. But I was like, oh no, Jadis killed that lady too. So kind of spoiler for me. But yeah, I don't know. Because it does seem like if they were in the helicopter, they would easily be able to see Alexandria in the community from where they were. Well, Michonne says they can make a better world, and he pulls out the ring, and he says, it's a broken world. You're the only thing that puts it back together. Until my last breath, I'm yours. And I loved it because he's on his knees, and she kneels down with him, and she says, I'm yours. And it was very, very sweet, I say. But it also kind of was scary because when he's saying, until my last breath, it indicates that...
He's gonna be on your most likely to die list.
Yeah, he may have to get there. And that's when we see.
He said the words.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the words.
The forbidden words.
Yeah, the forbidden words. He should not be named, but I'm gonna have to say it this time. But that's when the last scene is Gabriel, like the chump that he is, waiting around for Jadis.
But no, when I say Rick said the forbidden words, in movies, you never say,
"Oh yeah, I'll be right back," or yeah, you're right.
To my dying breath, to my last breath. There are things you don't say.
Yeah.
Why you call Gabriel a chump?
Because
he wait for his woman.
Man, Jadis them played him, and then it's almost kind of disrespectful because he was with Rosita after all of this, and I don't know, something about when we were watching the J-Lo doc on this weekend just for shits and giggles, and we were just talking about it's something a little bit disrespectful, like when you were in a relationship, then you get out of that relationship, and then you're in a new relationship, and then that new relationship doesn't work out, and then you go back to maybe your old relationship, and then you talk to the old person like, I've always loved you. It's like, well,
I never stopped thinking about it.
What about that time in the middle when you literally got married and had kids?
the 10 years.
Yeah, the 10 years. Did that not matter? And that's why I kind of thought
I was miserable the whole time without you.
Gabriel, I'm like, this is kind of cringe. You was with Rosita, y'all raised a baby together. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he raised that baby so long it started looking like him.
I can't wait till we go back to Alexander, if we ever make it. And clearly we're not making it this season. And I don't get their plans for next week when they're like, okay, we're both go back. You go get the echelon briefing. I'll get the dossier. No.
That was crazy.
Why didn't Rick just go back, get the dossier? He gets echelon. Michonne, you should have never went back. You should just either stay right outside and wait for him.
And Rick should have told her not to come back.
Yes.
Rick should have told her, hey, Thorne tried to kill you already.
Right. Why come back? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And they don't know what they know. They don't know anything. They don't know if the helicopter people already told them, hey, Michonne just threw Rick out the window. Rick has a small chance of surviving. But Michonne, to me, has no chance of surviving there.
You're right.
All right.
It's almost like they said just F them kids, for real. It's like
they grown now.
They're not even... Yeah, they're wrong at this point. At this point, they're dead wrong.
No, I said they grown.
Oh, the kids? No, what I'm saying, at this point, Michonne and Rick are dead wrong.
Yeah.
You had a chance, at least one of you could have went back. Michonne could have hopped in the little yellow pickup, went to Alexandria, and you could have went back solo.
Yeah.
You telling me they're going to believe both of you guys made it and came back in Jada's plane?
Right. It's going to be like 10 years from now when, Judith and RJ give their story. It's going to be like one of those celebrity kids that come out, their dad or mom is famous and everyone loves them. And then they come out and my mama wasn't shit. She was never there. And that's what it's going to be. It's giving Herschel Walker's kid because he always be online talking about his daddy. I'm like, damn, you must be hurt because you telling all the family business. But he is maybe everyone looked at him and goes, oh, he was a football player or whatever and cool football player. And then he's like, nah, he was a shitty daddy. He was never there. And I feel like that's going to be Judith and RJ eventually.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be singing their praises oh, Michonne, Rick, they're the heroes. And they're like, yo.
Rick, the brave man.
Yeah, the brave man. The brave man, the absent man. Well, Rick, they'll give a shot. They'll probably let slide because he was a prisoner. But they're going to be like, Michonne, my mama left me. Even though they may not because Judith did encourage her to go. So...
Well, she encouraged her because she knew she was going.
Oh, yeah. To save face.
Yeah. But really, Judith was thinking man, you ain't shit.
I hope whenever we get Judith and RJ again, at least Judith, it's okay if they switch RJs because we didn't really get to know him, but I don't care how old Judith is. I don't care if she 20 now. I still want that same girl.
Yeah, they better bring her back.
Yeah, bring her back. Same girl. I don't care how old she is now. Just bring her back. We like her. But okay, most likely to die in I Ain't Fair and Shit.
You go first.
All right, most likely to die. I know it's called The Ones Who Live, but we've seen a lot of people die. I'm gonna say Rick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. That's a good one since he did say the magic words.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. I doubt they get rid of Rick. But we're gonna keep that right there. I think it's gonna be Thorne.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I wish I knew the plans. Like, I haven't looked it up to see if there's going to be additional seasons. But given that they did additional seasons, they're doing additional seasons of Daryl's show. I haven't heard about Dead City yet. It's possible if they're doing additional seasons, yeah, Rick probably won't die. But if this is the one and done season, which it doesn't seem like it would be, because there's no way they can make it Alexandria unless they just show Michonne making it back there and that's how it ends. But like at the very end. But I'm going to still say Rick. Of course, I don't want that to happen, but I'm going to say Rick.
I'm even go further with mine. I think Thorne's going to die, and she's going to die by Michonne's hands.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
So Michonne's still jealous.
Yeah. She's
Even though she's trying to keep that straight face.
Uh-huh.
Like, why keep bringing her up?
Yeah.
So, Rick, you was pretty close to that Thorne lady, huh?
Right. I'm going to say Thorne and Bill. Just remember, Terry O'Quinn is on there, a.k.a. Locke, John Locke. She did bring him up saying, hey, Bill was going to give you the echelon briefing. And you don't bring him on your show for something small. So either if there's going to be a second season, he'll still be on there. If not, it's possible that he will have a big part of the 6th episode and die.
I agree he's going to die, but I don't think he's dying just yet. I think that you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I ain't fearing shit. Who you got?
I ain't fearing shit. I have to get to, I'm going to give it to Jada's stupid ass for coming up there. So waking him up, doing stupid shit. Yeah. Like, you could have killed them in their sleep. Which, yeah, it sounds sick, but they've done it. Everyone's done it. It's the safest way to kill somebody, in my opinion, in the zombie apocalypse.
It's a tie to me. I'm going to give it to Rick and Michonne because they were whooping ass. Everybody had guns. They had sticks.
Yeah.
Sticks and knives and shit. Yeah. So I'm going to have to give it to them.
Yeah, even when they, like, cuffed each other up and everything like that to the bed and they were still talking their shit to Jada's. Yeah. And then, and they ducked. And I like when Rick put up the mattress and it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. Now, next Sunday, it does look like the episode comes on next Sunday, which is Easter. We plan on having family over. Are we going to be able to watch in time? What are your thoughts? So we can just announce it here.
We still put it out in the same time.
Same time frame.
Same time frame. We could watch the next day.
Okay.
And just make sure we just.
If anything, maybe a day late, but we'll still try to get it out Tuesday. And then after that 6th episode, I would like to do after the season's over, kind of do a recap or things we missed or any listener letters like Chantel's written in. So if anything like that, just write in if you guys want to talk about the season as a whole, anything from episode 1 to 6 or anything that's in the past that seemed relevant to this season of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. All right. Until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys later. Bye.